with that, we're going to bring in our CBS13 political analyst, Gary Dietrich, to talk more about the presidential race.
Gary, first, just curious of your take on the night so far, and then also, it's very early in the night, but a win for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris would mean an open Senate seat, and Governor Newsom would have to appoint a senator to replace Kamala Harris. So what do we know about his picks?
Well, that's really important, Curtis, because the governor does get to appoint her successor if indeed she wins the vice presidency. There's been some names, some well-known names: Alex Padilla, our Secretary of State; Xavier Becerra, our Attorney General. And by the way, that would lead to a twofer, because then he would get to appoint their replacement as well. So there's been a lot of jockeying, believe it or not, already at the Capitol for this. Of course, you get appointed to that seat, it just puts you in the catbird seat to win it the next time around. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of people in California, a lot of electeds that would love to have that opportunity.
Yeah, Gary, regardless of who wins, though, how will the outcome of the presidential race impact California in terms of funding, specifically when it comes to things like fire protection and coronavirus?
Well, I mean, we certainly expect. I mean, you get a Biden presidency, particularly with Harris as a vice president. You know, one could imagine maybe easier to get some of those federal dollars flowing to California. But interestingly, you know, it's been very interesting to see the governor and the president. They lob a lot of verbal grenades at each other. But when it comes to things like fire dollars, when it all comes down to it and the rubber meets the road, those seem to come through. So I don't know whether we'll see a big change or not. That'll be real interesting to see if Biden becomes president, where that happens.
Now the balance of power on Capitol Hill. Gary, if the Democrats retake the Senate, Senator Dianne Feinstein would become the Senate Judiciary Committee chairperson. So what issues do you think would be her focus?
Well, I'll tell you, Curtis, that is going to be one of the most important things that happens if Democrats retake control. Why? Because she would head up the Senate Judiciary Committee. Remember all the talk about packing the Supreme Court and the heat that's been put on Biden about that. There's a tremendous amount of pressure within that party to expand the Supreme Court after these three justices that were nominated by Trump and confirmed. And they would all have to go through her committee, and she would chair that committee. So that would be huge if that happens.
Yeah, so many things to watch tonight. And Gary, we know you will keep us up to date. We appreciate your time, sir. We'll see you back here in just a little bit.